Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of the Irish Pantheon. Today we are doing Goddess Aine. She is the fairy queen. So she is a very interesting goddess, especially when we get very later into the video of who her mother, father, husband, and children were. That's very interesting. Even for myself, when I did research, I was surprised. Um, she is a very interesting goddess, to say the least. So here is Goddess Ing's titles, alternative names, and spellings and symbols. Enjoy.
Over on the hill there grows a flower, growing quicker still, more perfect by the hour. Deep within the flower is a tiny gem, all fringed with gold. The fairy queen sits there. It is in her breath that the windows blow. It is in her heart, as pure as winter snow. It is in her tears the crystal raindrops fall, and within her years that she is in our soul. Oh, dark eyes, help me see. Just one look, she is gone. Look on me, we are one, fading with the setting sun.
Goddess Aine was basically the goddess Aine was extremely popular in the areas of southern Ireland known as Munster, where she was considered the queen of fairies. She is thought to be a reginald vision of Aine, and in honor, two location mountains were named. She was named after two mountains. Aine is same being as great Celtic mother goddess Dainune, for whom several rivers in Europe are named after, and who was known in Ireland as Dana. Aine's lore links her with earth, air, fire, and water. The two mountains were thought to be her blessed. She had a home in a special hill named called Aine's Hill, and was thought to have created the enchantment lake known as Lugur, over which she sometimes appears in the shape of a fairy whirlwind. Aine is very much associated with the sun, as known as the wife of the sea god. That goes into more detail that I want to let go. That part is not true in my research that I looked up. It goes on to say the sea god Miklu that we've done before. I was cheating there a little bit, as you can tell. I was reading off this one page, but I will list the story below, as always, and you can interpret it in your own way if you want to do more research. And if I'm wrong, always be free to tell me. Now, what's very interesting is a lot of people also I read up believe that she's also an aspect of Lady of the Lake, and that she is also Morgan. So she is also very popular in the Celtic religion, the Welsh, the Irish, all of them. So she may pop up a few times in that pantheon, which makes a few of these gods and goddesses hard to place. So some of them may not be in the right category, but just because they change the name a little bit, you know. But let's get started. What she was goddess of. She was goddess of five things. She was goddess of love, fertility, the moon, crops, fairies, midsummer. Now, some of the stories too say that she is the goddess of love because, first of all, when she first came to be, she really loved men very much and slept with a lot of men to begin with. But then she found attractive towards the divine, the gods, and started to, sleep around with them. So she loved mortals so much that she was much like Zeus. Zeus had many compatriots. I know I've been referring to him a lot, but he's basically the man-whore of the Greek pantheon. No offense. But she is basically the female Zeus. She not female Zeus per se. She liked to sleep with both mortals and the divine. Which some gods, that's not uncommon among the pantheons, especially the Greek pantheon, but I'm just using that as a reference. But she's also a goddess of fertility, so she is good for all you mothers out there that are pregnant or want to get pregnant, and a moon goddess, of course. Um, and for farmers, she would be good for, and of course, fairies. Since she is the fairy queen, she is queen of all fairies. And again, I want to reference, fairies are not all these nice little creatures that you see in like Peter Pan and all that. Fairies can be pretty mean. We watch the movie The Labyrinth when that one cute fairy comes up to her, and you'll see what I mean. But not all fairies are like that. There are many different types of fairies, but that's a whole nother video. And midsummer. So when the midsummer, it's also called summer solstice, which is coming up soon. When the summer solstice comes, she is best to work with on the summer solstice. So if you do an order to celebrate summer solstice, be sure to mention her name. She had 3 sacred animals: red horse, rabbit, swan. And the only 2 animals, the rabbit and the swan, are represented in summer solstice. So those 2 are sacred animals to her. Now the red horse, I don't know much about horses, but I don't think red ones are as common. But they all, I don't know. But if anyone knows that answer, let me know. But it's pretty cool that she's interested in red horses. She had 5 sacred colors: red, gold, green, blue, and tan. Her sacred element was air. Her Sabbath is summer solstice. Her associated planet is sun and moon. Now let's stop a little bit here. Well, sacred cuddles are common to what she is goddess of. Fairies, a lot of that is fairy cuddles, and tan to represent earth. Um, Now the sun and the moon. I couldn't find one to say specifically what her associated planet would. I kept coming up with sun and moon. Her being a moon goddess, I would think more so the moon. But if she is both, that is a very powerful goddess. because she controls the sun and the moon. Now, her representations were hay, straw, and file. Now, fire is the representation of, again, summer solstice. Um, Born in a fire, for the pagan tradition, you're supposed to have a bonfire that night. If you live in the city, there's all covens that you can find in Google that you can go out in the outskirts of the city, like in the country, and do these. Because I'm pretty sure most cities will not let you have a bonfire in your backyard. Um, Anyhow, her sacred herbs and incense is bloodstone, dragon's blood, and fairy dust. Now, bloodstone is a stone that is used to cloak. It's a cloaking stone, and it's also used to protect unborn children and infants. So, if you're pregnant, wearing the bloodstone will cloak your child from any spiritual attacks. And if you put it in a little baggie, so say those little, you can get these little black tie, can't think of the name of them, but they have a little string in them. You tie it off. You can hang them above the crib. I did that once with a little bit of basil in it and hang it above an infant's crib for protection. And no spirit can harm them. Now, dragon's blood can be, as I showed the picture of, 3 types of dragon's blood you can get. You can get the resonant, which is like rock form. You can get the incense, and you can get the oil. I mostly use the incense. Dragon's blood is very widely known, so you can get it about any incense store. Fairy dust, again, there is such thing as fairies. Collecting fairy dust, actual fairy dust, is very hard, but you can use fairy dust incense, and there is an incense out there called fairy dust. Now on to the very interesting parts that I found here. Her mother is unknown. Now her father was Fairy King of Monsters. Which, being a monster explains her child here coming up. Now, she was wife of 2 things here, which may surprise a lot of Christian viewers watching this, and especially Catholics. Well, she was wife of Saint Patrick, and another reference that I see, which was her lover, or hence husband, since I couldn't narrow it down, was God Gwyn. And her child was named this. Now, she didn't have a, how most gods and goddesses look human form, most of them. She actually had a child, which was like, kind of looked like a monster, more so a beast. So, she didn't have a humanoid child, as I would say. And it being that she was the wife of St. Patrick, actually his name was called something else, but doing deep research, I found out that that name transferred to St. Patrick. So the number one resource that I found was that her husband was St. Patrick. This has been goddess Aine, and now I forget how to say her name, Aine. So I hope you enjoyed it, and may you all have a blessed week or weekend. Bye.